All right, hello everybody. This is our second day. We're going to be talking about just basic class information. We'll be talking about the syllabus. So I want to make sure you have what you need so that you know what you are kind of being held to for the remainder of the course. There will be a syllabus quiz posted after. So once you watch this, your job is to go into that quiz, take the quiz. You should score at least 80% or better. If you score below that, I would review the syllabus, review our video, and take the quiz again. So a couple of things, just basic things. First thing, every week you will see an agenda like this that'll tell you what's going on, and I'll have notes or things for you to do listed. This week's a little weird because it's pretty basic. Along the side, you will also see the assignments popping up that you're going to be held to, and it has the due dates as well. So, I'm still building things, but you'll see everything organized so you know where to go and what you're being held to. Couple of things below the weekly agenda. Oh, one other thing. If I click on this button, I can go back to the week before and see what we did last week or the week before that. Obviously, this is the first week, so there isn't anything else there. But you can always navigate your way through these slides to see what we did on any given week. Below that, you will see our first folder called Class Info. That has some real basic things in it, a couple of which you're going to really need to be accessing. You'll see the assignments, kind of the introductory assignments listed down below. But the first one is our syllabus. We'll be going into that here in a second. The second one is probably the key thing that you're going to need. This is the link to our textbook. So if I click on it, it says forbidden, but here's the magic button up here in the right corner. So if you click on that, on any of the links, it'll bring you to the outside link. So this is a PDF of the entire course. It's 688 pages, so it's a full book. And I think it's easier if you download these. So what I might do is, if I was you, download this, open up that PDF, and then just pin that. So it's taking a while to download because it's a big document. Let's see what happens when it's done. Let me see. So if I open up the downloaded PDF, what you can do then is pin this so that it's stuck now here, always at the top of my tabs, and it's not going to close on accident because closing it makes it a little more complicated. The nice thing is that you can use the tools over on the left hand side here. So notice if I click either page view or the list view, I could just jump right into chapter 7. So later in the semester, this is going to make things a lot easier, right? Because I can just jump right to a place in the book and not have to scroll. So I would suggest that if you want the table of contents to kind of see where we're headed. We're not going to do all of the units, but we will do some of the things listed here. So anyway, that's the easiest way to navigate with the book. Again, if you pin that tab, then it'll stay there and you don't have to pin and unpin. You can obviously undo it and there pops up again. So that's the textbook. Let me find our course again. We will use the textbook because psychology is very vocabulary oriented. There's lots of new vocabulary that you're going to be working on this semester. I think that a good practice is, doing some of that reading so that then when I'm kind of teaching and talking you through these things and you're thinking about these ideas, you have some background and you'll get a whole lot more out of it. The next link down here is Checklist for Success. I'm going to leave that for now. If you want to click on it, you sure can. It's just tips for how to be successful in this course. Below that is the Crash Course Video Library. So this is a series of YouTube videos. You'll either like the guy or you won't, but it's Crash Course videos, so they're kind of more in-depth videos that kind of cover whole units. So if you think that's helpful as a way to kind of review, you're definitely welcome. I can point you to the videos that will correspond to our units. What we're going to look at today is the syllabus. And again, I will have a quiz for you when we're done. And the goal is just for you to have a sense of here's what we're being held to for the semester so you know what's happening. I also am aware that you can read, so I'm not going to read every word of this to you. However, I want you to know what's here so that you have a heads up. So I'll point out a few things as we go. First thing, my email address is here. If you need to email me, you can find it there. Otherwise, if you just start typing my name, CMill, in your school email, I'll pop up. Tells you a little bit about the course. It talks about the 6 units that we're going to be studying this semester. And then it gets into just basic expectations. So a couple of things here. What I'm going to do is have everything for the following week ready at the latest by Monday morning, but typically it might be even on the weekend, so that you have a pretty clear idea of what it is that you need to do for that week. Sometime Friday afternoon to the end of Sunday, whenever I get everything in, and it should be ready to go Monday. So if you check into the course on Monday mornings or whenever you get to your school stuff for this class, you'll have a sense of here's what's happening for the week. The best plan would be to kind of do it piece by piece instead of trying to cram everything into one look at the course. So I would say, if you make this school-like and do it day by day, it's going to be pretty reasonable. The way that attendance works for Virtual Academy is based on assignment submissions. So, for example, this week there are a handful of things that you're going to do. If I don't get any assignments submitted, then I'm assuming that you were not present. You did not attend the course. So you're going to want to make sure that you're checking in, that you're turning in assignments, and then that's how I know that you're keeping up. I will communicate with you via email, your school email. That's your ISD 191 email. So you should be checking that, because not only information from me, but information from your other VA teachers if you're taking other VA classes, or from kind of the people that are in charge of Virtual Academy, right? Like the school business that you need to know about. So check your email regularly. There will be due dates and deadlines for assignments. And the reason that we have deadlines and due dates is because, like everybody, if I don't have deadlines, then I go, I'd rather do something else and put it off. And then what happens is things start to pile up, and then I'm overwhelmed. If I track my deadlines and kind of keep up little by little as things happen, then I don't have that stress and pressure. So my suggestion is that you follow those deadlines and due dates and keep up with the course so that you end up at the end of the semester in good shape and not falling behind. There are some assignments, particularly the discussions that we'll do periodically, that are going to be geared towards you having online discussions with other students. Because psychology is about people, a lot of times it's interesting to get different kinds of feedback about some of the topics and your experience versus their experience. So if nobody posts the discussion, it's going to be hard to have a discussion. So those are kind of important, that you're hitting the deadline so that people can actually do what they need to do. Speaking of discussions, the thing that we have to remember is that we're all human beings and we've all had different experiences, and we all sometimes have different ideas about how the world works, right? So, your job is to be respectful of other people's ideas and thoughts, and not judge them. I can have my opinions and you can have your opinions. They can be different, and that's okay. But if I am giving you a hard time for something you think, then that turns into kind of rude behavior. So let's try to be respectful and open to, the world is a diverse place. Number 6, I think, is key for this kind of a course. Again, because we're talking about humans and you are a human, if you can connect the stuff that we are learning about to your life, it's not only going to make it easier to learn the new ideas and new concepts, but you'll get a whole lot more out of the course. So, instead of just looking at this like I have a checklist of things, if you're thinking about how does this actually relate to me in my real life, I think it'll make the process a lot better. Basic expectations, late work. You might not get full credit if things are turned in late. Cheating and plagiarism is going to be a 0. So if that's going on, that's a problem. So make sure you're doing your work, unless it's explicit that somehow you're working with somebody else. You should be submitting your own work. You can see the grade breakdown. There are 2 categories for your grade, formative and summative, and you can see the percentage breakdown. So 40% of your overall grade is kind of the daily work, the practice, some of the assignments that you're turning in. And this is the stuff that's showing me that you're working through new information. Summative would be then at the end of the unit when we have an assessment to see what did you learn. So it could be everything from multiple choice to short answer essay questions on the test. And again, this is where you're showing me your learning, so that is worth 60% of your overall grade. Last thing on the syllabus, I am available at multiple times throughout the day. We're not going to be doing just the open Google Meet, because I think what I've heard from people is that, it was kind of spotty as far as when people would show up. So it almost kind of turned into like a prison situation for the person that was having office hours. So I'm open between 8 and 8:45, between 9:45 and 10:30, and then after 2:45 to 3:15. I'm happy to work with you, talk with you, chit chat if you want, talk about the class, answer questions. All you have to do is email me and we can schedule a time to connect and open up a Google Meet and do what we need to do. You see my email address again down below. That's probably the easiest way to connect with me because I check it pretty regularly throughout the day. It does say if you email me at night, I sometimes get student emails at 11:30 at night, and I'm definitely not checking my school email at 11:30. So I will surely respond. Excuse me, if I get an email by 3:15. But don't expect anything till the morning if you're emailing me late at night. Last page here is something that we're just trying to make sure people are aware of. There are all kinds of resources. If you are having issues, problems, concerns, and this is really specific to the people at Burnsville High School, but there are similar kinds of resources for virtual academy students. And if you're having some questions or concerns, start with me and I can help you find the right people that you need. But we have school counselors, we have social workers, there's a school psychologist. There is also the free medical and dental clinic at Diamond Head, which is over by just north of just south of the heart of the city. And then also on here is the brand new suicide and crisis lifeline, 988. So it's like 911, but if you call 988, there are people 24 hours a day that can help, because we talk about mental health, and sometimes people being in crisis, it is important that you know that these things are available for you or for anybody else that you might know that's struggling. And then last, if you were at Burnsville High School, there is a room that kids can go to where they have some resources. If you look on here, there's a link to what is called the virtual calm room. So if you're feeling stressed out or anxious, or you just need a moment, there are actually some pretty cool resources here, guided meditations, some video things, a handful of different things that are kind of potentially helpful. So if you're bored, check those out and see if there's anything fun for you to find. That is the syllabus. At this point, you should be ready to answer some basic questions about the course. So you can go into that quiz and take the quiz.